We're back and we are working on this Bishman tire changer that I got off Facebook Marketplace. Now, if you saw my first video, you know that I already kind of fixed all the little stuff, put some different wheels on it, fixed the power cord, new belt, fixed the little wheels here that grab your rim when you tighten her up there, and greased all the grease zerks and all that fun stuff. But now I'm going to focus on the air cylinder that runs the bead breaker. Now, I'm going to jerk that off and throw it up on the bench, and we'll get her all cleaned up. I took one pump off of here. It wasn't very hard. A couple cotter pins and the air line there. I'm going to try and turn this upside down, see if we can't drain all that water and gross stuff out of the bottom of it. Because I kind of think of this as like an air compressor cylinder. And all that's just sitting in the bottom of here. Eventually, it's going to rust the bottom of this tank out. I mean, it was literally probably that full of just water. And it's straight water. We'll see if we can get it to come out of there somehow. There's still some in there because it's you can hear it sloshing around. I believe this is just a drain plug right here. So, yeah. Clearly the right tool for the job. Man, that baby's tight. Okay, so let's turn it up and see if anything drains out of it now. There, it got some juice coming out. Not a whole lot. I think I got most of it out before. But man, I don't know if you guys can see up this cylinder. It's pretty crusty up in here. I'm going to clean this all up with a wire brush. Clean the top of this pump up really good. And then we'll get some oil in there. We'll work this thing up and down a couple dozen times before we put it back together. Now the furnace is going to kick on. Anyway, cleaned up really nice. I hit this with the wire wheel. I wire brushed all the slime and sludge off and everything. And put the plug back in the bottom of it. This thing works remarkably well for as old as it is. Put a little bit of air pressure in here. It's nice and smooth, functions like it should. Other than it being full of a bunch of rusty water. Perfect. That wasn't even tight. I don't know. It's looking sketchy. Yeah. Look at that, guys. It's just... I'm glad we pulled this apart. So that's the inside of the bottom of that pump, and this just goes on like that. So that's supposed to be a nice seal here, I assume, for an air seal. We can clean this all up real nice and just use a little Permatex. Seal that up. Now if I pull this all the way up like this, oh, the top's sliding out too. So you see how that slid all the way down in that cylinder? Now the end's sliding out, so we might be able to slide the other end out as well. And then we can clean this whole cylinder out real nice. Probably over in the parts washer. And yeah, get this all cleaned up. Let me slide the other end out of here and we'll see what it looks like. Oh yeah, she's full of sludge. You guys got to see this. Look at that nasty sludge and slime in that air cylinder. That seal doesn't feel bad. I think we can probably save this. I don't know. Let's get her over in the part. I'll get it in the parts washer. I'll clean this all up and I'll bring you guys back and see what we got. All right, so everything's all cleaned up and got all this stuff ready. Basically just cleaned it all up with the parts washer and a wire brush and my die grinder, and went on the hunt for replacement stuff. Now, I couldn't find a piston seal to save my life because it is a 4 7/8 Y seal. And yeah, everything nowadays is metric, you guessed it. So, can't find that anywhere. I'm just going to put it back together and use this one because this one's not really in bad shape. I think it was replaced at some point. If it doesn't work, then I'll call McMaster or finish scouring the earth to try and find us one of those. But I think we'll do just fine. Now the piston stuff, got this top plate. It's pretty pitted, but I got it cleaned up good. Had this piece on here. It's got some rust kind of embedded in it that I couldn't get out. So we're just going to live with that. And then it had this smashed O-ring seal that went in the top of this piston here. And luckily I had an O-ring that fits perfectly. So that's going to work there. Now there was an O-ring that went around this piece here. And I dug around, and that's actually a standard size, just like the piston seal was. So I could find that. 2 of them on Amazon was like $20, and I was not going to pay $20 for 2 O-rings, and I only need 1 of them. I wouldn't pay. So I hunted around. I found this O-ring, which I believe is for the fuel pump in a GM, whatever application. And it's square though, it's not round. It would probably work, it's just a little too big. I could cut it down and make it work if I had to. But I happened upon this O-ring assortment over at Lowe's, and it happens to have a 5 7/8, which is too big. Now the cross section is the same, it's an 1/8 inch, so that's good. So I'm gonna cut this big O-ring down. All it's doing is sealing up the bottom of this cylinder. I'm trying to make a good air seal. So cutting O-rings, making your own O-rings is not new technology. Guys have been doing it forever. They actually make special glue to do that. Now I don't have that special glue because I'm cheap. So I went to the clearance section at Lowe's because I thought surely they'll have some bottle of glue for something that they just want rid of. And I found a couple of like bottles of glue. I don't know which one I'm going to use yet. I'll show you guys when we get to that point. But yeah, got some cheap glue. So I think all the parts so far I've bought for this pump and everything, I've got like $10 in it probably, which is a pretty good deal. So let's go over here to our cylinder. So the cylinder, if you look, I cleaned it up and it's smooth on this end. I assume this was the top because it's the smoothest. And this was the bottom. You can see how it's already starting to try and rust again. I thought about it. We could probably put it back together like this, but it's just gonna tear that O-ring up. And I got a little brain idea. Whipped out the old Harbor Freight cylinder hone, and it fits perfectly. Works great, or will work great. Haven't tried it yet, but I don't see how it can fail. So I've got her soaking in some oil here. Found some on the shelf, says snowblower. Good thing I don't own a snowblower. I would need oil now. But yeah, I'll toss you guys up. We'll get this honed out. I got it at an angle, so hopefully I can catch the mass. Do both ends of this, and then we'll be ready to reassemble this baby. So I ran the hone in and out of there a few times, and it's starting to feel pretty smooth. So I'm just gonna take a couple rags. I'm gonna wipe this out as best I can, get most of this garbage out of here, and then try it again. Just keep going until it feels pretty good. Yeah, look at all that crap. It's definitely working. See you guys in a few. Alright guys, so it's time to start slapping this thing back together, and I'm going to use a combination of oil and WD-40. I got some gloves on because it's probably going to get messy because I don't want all this stuff to rust like right away. So I'm just going to use some WD-40, and my oil is just random motor oil, like I've told you before. It's just random weights of leftover crap. I just dump it all in a thing. It's oil, right? That'll work just fine. So first thing we need to do is put the piston back on, whatever you want to call this, the lower bead breaker assembly. Again, I'm just gonna put some motor oil on this and then slide it into place. Not a whole lot, but the trick is remembering how all this stuff goes together. Luckily, when I record all this crap for you guys, if I forget something, I can just pretend like I did and I can go back and that never happens. Okay, so that's gonna go on there like that. Boom shakalaka. Should be perfect. Now, the top plate, just this piece, I believe. Well, actually, that has to go on there first, doesn't it? I'm trying to screw it up already, guys. So I wonder which side this goes on, whether it goes to the inside or to the outside. I don't remember. If I do this wrong, I'm gonna have to redo it. I don't know. I better go over here to the machine and look. I'll be back. The verdict is in. It looks like I had it right, which means it's probably wrong, and I'm gonna have to do it over again. But that's fine. So first things first, you can see this has been beating the hell out of that. So this is gonna go on this way, like so. And we'll have our O-ring here, which again, just put a little bit of oil on it. Not a lot, just enough. This is gonna go on here like this. This goes on here like this. Swing! We got a big old washer. Our nut. And that should pull that all down on there. Maybe I'm supposed to tighten that up after I get the cylinder on there. I don't know, guys. It'll be fine. So now I'm just gonna slide our cylinder down on there. I'm gonna clamp this right here like this. Makes it a little easier. Bit of oil around there. Perfect. Squirt this little WD in here. Good enough. Which side's the bottom? Don't really matter. Look at that, guys. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. Shazam! Oh. Okay, so we've got that all put together. So now, all we've got to do is make this O-ring. So let me get that stuff over here, and I'll show you what glues I've got. Alright guys, so this is the glue I'm going to use. It's Flex Seal Pool and Patch Repair Kit. Now, like I said, I got this at Lowe's. It was on clearance for like $1.30 or something. Normally it was like 12 bucks. But yeah, It says it does the instant grab and then 7 to 10 days or something. I don't know. Oh, 7 to 10 hours. 24, 48 hours. Full strength of 7 days. So works great for us. So what I'm going to do, which you can see this O-ring is too big. Goes a little too far. Here's our old one. Went around here like that. Here's that GM one that I found that's, I mean, as you can see, that's real close. I could cut that down and make that fit if I had to. So we've got that as a backup plan. But basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut this in half. That gives us what we need. I'm gonna go right around here, like so. Right back to where it needs to be. I'm not really going to stretch it or anything, and I'm going to give it just a little extra. It's a good thing I'm left-handed. Look at that, now we can make a little baby O-ring. So hopefully I didn't cut that too short because Lowe's only had 1 pack of these. And that looks to be perfect. So what I'm gonna do is we want that instant grab is poke a hole in this. Got access to our looby-doob. I'm gonna squirt just a little bit in here where I want the two to meet. It will come out of there. Some thick stuff. There we go. I'm just going to take one in. Get the old jam job there. Stick it around here, slide it in our goo. Like so. Stick our other end in here. Do the same deal. We have a brand new O-ring. Or so the story goes. I'm gonna let that sit for a few minutes and go drink a cup of coffee. All right, let's see if I can stuff this baby in here without screwing it up. Now, this is the outside back here. This is the back, so that's probably where I want this air line to be. So I'm going to slide it right down on here like so. Okay, that side's in, perfect. That's the side with the wookie wookie. Right down in there. Like a glove. Yeah, now all we gotta do is toss this thing back on the machine. Alright guys, so I've got everything over here that I think I need to put this back on now. I know I didn't record myself tearing this thing apart, but who wants to see me learn how to tear something apart for the first time? It's all greasy and slimy and gross. Now it's all cleaned up and I can explain to you guys exactly how this kind of works. And yeah, I won't look like a fool, or I guess I won't look like as much of a fool because I have some sort of an idea of what I'm doing now. So to put this together, it's actually got two different kinds of pins. It's got a pin with a head on it and then just straight pins. So straight pins go through the pump and cotter pins go in the backside, and that kind of holds that all in. And then the ones with the heads go on the top bead breaker that goes on the back. So first thing we're going to do is slide these babies in here and then see if I can't figure out how to get those cotter pins in there. Like that. That one, like that. So this goes down through here. Wham bam, inside's done. Now these springs here go down and connect to here. I don't know if I should put those on first. Maybe I should. Got this little keeper. Just a little Allen. It just keeps that from sliding off of there. There we go, got those. Now, need to put these on with the other two pins, and then I think I will connect my air line, because that spins free, so I don't have to worry about that. Let's see if I can't line this up. Uh-oh, it's gonna want me to lift it up. See if I can set it on this. Slide around you guys. That's gonna fall and smash something. Like that, but got it in. Safety chain here. Try to lift this up over top of that to hold that for the minute. Our safety chain on here. Our big springs. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. They actually have these big old pins too. So these pins go, if I remember right, they were through here like this. that. And then these springs went from here all the way up and hook onto that. I feel like it's going to be a stretch. Wonder if I can lock that. Yeah, now that can't come up. Oh man, that's a long way. We're gonna need a big ass screwdriver. Gotcha. Hopefully, I will be strong enough to pull this up to there. Whoa! Whew. That's tough. I can get it up there though. Once I get one, then I'll be a professional. Maybe. Ah, so close. I smell victory, yet I taste defeat. I'm an idiot. I am a full-blown idiot. If I lift this up, the spring don't have to go near as far. All I gotta do is shove something under that. That's as high as she goes. And I only gotta go that far now. Like that. Ha! Who'd have thought? Trial and error, boys, trial and error. Okay, now what we've got is our air line. Bam! Alright guys, so we got the air cylinder rebuilt and I got it all put back on the machine there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and maybe learned something, watch me struggle a little bit here and there. But yeah, I think it's ready to start breaking tires down. Unfortunately, I didn't have a tire to show you. All I got is this old burnout tire and I can't reseat the bead on that. It would explode and try and kill me and HR wouldn't like that. So anyway, give you a quick rundown of kind of how this thing works. Now, they're supposed to have a valve up here that you squeeze so you can kind of regulate the descent on this thing because it gets very aggressive very fast, but I don't have one of those. Couldn't find one online to do kind of what I wanted. So the quick, easy thing that I did was I took the fitting. What most guys do is they just have an airline fitting here for your air hose, and you can just plug it right on there. The problem I had with that is when you plug it on, if you don't hold this coupler back, it'll lock on there, and in the heat of the moment, this thing kind of banging around and stuff, if you let go of that, then it's pressurized the whole time. You can't release the pressure. So I took the fitting out and I just took it over to my bench grinder and I just ground that lip off of there. Let me show you real quick. I ground this lip off the top of that fitting and then reinstalled it on the machine. So when you want to put air to this, you just push this on and it just puts air on. So then it can't get stuck on there and you can kind of regulate, you know, when you want it to put air in. And depending on how hard you push, it gives more or less air pressure. So you can kind of line the thing up. So let me show you how this works. You got a lever on the side here. It's kind of the opposite of what you would think it would be. Up locks in the bottom bead breaker to run the bottom, and down runs just the top. So we're going to start with the top, and then you want to take this little tab and line it up with the inside of your rim. Now it's ready to break the top bead. Then you just put air to it, comes down, pops your bead. Then you want to do the bottom bead, so you move your lever up. You're going to bring it down, put this bar right on the inner lip, just like you did before, and then you're going to want to pull it forward and push down. There's another tab behind it, and that lines it up so that when this comes down, it'll sit right on the top edge of your rim. That's why you don't want to use like aluminum wheels or anything with these, because it puts pressure right on the outside of that rim, and it will come up from the bottom and break that bottom bead just like this. It's a little aggressive, but does the trick. For our race car wheels and, you know, trailer tires, things of that nature, this thing's gonna work out great for us. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The next video, I don't have the actual tire spoon, so I can't mount and dismount tires yet. I've seen some other guys online. They've got the Harbor Freight manual tire changers, and they make duckbill adapters. So I kicked that around in my brain a little bit, and marbles sloshed around, and I think I came up with a pretty good idea on how we can make one for ourselves that'll upgrade this to the new duckbill style. And then obviously if I come across one of the original ones somewhere for a good deal, I'll scoop it up to you. But that'll be my next video. We'll make one of those. I'll show you guys if it works, how it works. Maybe it won't. Maybe you guys got better ideas. If you do, put them down in the comments below. If you're new here, like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends. Really appreciate it. And yeah, check out some of our other videos. I'll post them around here. If you want a hat or a t-shirt or something, we got a merch store. I'll put a link in the description. You can go check that stuff out. And until next time, keep on wrenching. Peace.